Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about all things gratitude jars. I want to share with you my gratitude jar practice that I've been doing on and off again for several years. And hopefully, this is something that you can add to your own day to day habits and routines. Um, so let's jump into it. Thanks for watching. So, what is a gratitude jar? So I've already shown you what actually is a flower vase. So it could be a vase, it could be a mason jar. This is the one I did at work. It could be a mug. It can be anything to hold your sticky notes. I jumped into, so the reason why I jumped into doing gratitude jar writing is because it was during a period of time where I just felt like things just were not falling into place. I felt incredibly negative. I couldn't see the bright side of everything that was happening into my life. And I don't know if I read it somewhere, saw it on social media, but because it was so easy to implement, I jumped into it. So, my goal, this is kind of how I do it. So, every day, every other day, every few days a week, I would actually take a sticky notepad and I have like different colors. And all you need is, so you need the sticky notepad, you need a pen, preferably a pen, not a pencil, because pencil can like smudge. And then any size gratitude jar. Because I try to do this from year beginning to year end, I like this size because I like to be able to like, I don't want to have multiple jars. I just want I want to fill this jar essentially. So the goal is for me to every day, either at the beginning of the day, which is good, reflect on the things that I'm grateful for. So that's just literally me taking a sticky note, writing down one thing that I'm grateful for. And I preferably like to date it because when I go and open these at the end of the year on New Year's Eve, it kind of puts me in a nice visual mindset of like, okay, can I remember where I was when I wrote this? I'm a date person. I like putting dates on things, excuse me. So, and then what I also do is some people, like sometimes I might have three things, four things, or five things that I might want to write that I'm grateful for. I won't put them on a singular note, sticky note. I will dedicate a sticky note for each of those moments of gratefulness. And then let's see. So, like for an example, I'm grateful to have started this YouTube channel. And then I'll put today's date, which happens to be the 1st of February, 2026. And then, so after I write that out, I will then fold it, maybe fold it again, and then one more like that, like so. And then I take my jar, let's see, and I just drop it in, just like that. See? And then I have colorful sticky notes, so I like to add the colors in there. But that's essentially the practice. So either you can spend time at the beginning of your day to kind of really set the mood for your day because it does make a difference, or you can do it at the end of your day as a form of like reflecting on the day, or you could do both. Sometimes I do both, and you just write it on a sticky note, drop it in, put your jar in like a dedicated area. Mine is next to the side of my bed. So I'm someone who spends a lot of time swimming in her thoughts. And that's not always healthy. And I think at the time I just really needed something to take me out of my like default way of being and also give me the ability to be intentional about my life in its current state. And even though there may not have been great things happening that I could see just by taking the time to reflect, there were things that I were missing or I didn't allow myself to focus on. that I really was grateful for. And then by doing that practice, it's similar to just journaling, but by doing that practice, it really helped me to get out of that negative mode. And I think that's internally that's what I really needed. I needed to like find a way to get out of my negative way of thinking. And at the time, this practice was like the simplest, easiest, repeatable way for me to do that. And you know, it's been several years, and some years I do better than others as far as consistency. But because this is a new year and because I've started this channel, I want to share this practice because it's helpful. This is a smaller example. This one was done at a work event. There was at a conference, and one of the table vendors, their whole idea was a crafts table, and everyone was creating gratitude jars. So I don't know if you could see, but like they had all these like little paper decorations and gems. So I just put something together because it was like really crowded. People were really enjoying this. So this is, like I said, it's a mason jar. So you can like get these on Amazon. You probably have them in your house somewhere. Like I said, I use the bigger one, which is my flower vase. That works fine as well. So yeah, it's very easy, low barrier to entry to get started. Doesn't cost much at all. You probably have, I'm sure you have a pin around your home. I'm sure you have a sticky note or maybe even index cards, and at least like a starter jar or something for you to take part in this and literally start right after you watch this video or while you're watching this video. So as you're thinking about your gratitude jar and doing it in practice, things that you shouldn't beat yourself up about is maybe right off the bat, it seems like it's difficult for you to think about what you're grateful for. That could be an opportunity for you to maybe do grateful prompts where you could literally use ChatGPT to help you think through something a sentence or two that you could write on, like things I should consider that I'm grateful for. If it seems like you always remember to write on your hardest days, I think that's excellent because it's one thing to just be in the rhythm of like writing these moments of gratitude, but it's your hardest days that can be really trying. And if you can remember to carve out 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute of time to just reflect and write down what your gratitude moments are, that's amazing. That truly is amazing. So when I think about the unexpected like benefits of taking a minute out of my day to write down the things that I'm grateful for, it really is a mindset shift, and it's like an actual physical way of reframing how you think about yourself, your current moment in your life. It also allows you to kind of zoom out and really look at the big picture of where you are currently in your life and what it took for you to get to where you are. Just like journaling, it there's something about the practice of writing it out that is a de-stressor for me specifically. Um, Weight feels lifted. I feel lighter. In some cases, it's actually helped my headaches. I'm not saying that'll be the case for you, but from my experience, oftentimes it helps my headaches because a lot of the times like I said, I default to my swimming in my thoughts. So if I have nowhere to put those thoughts, it's almost like it gets backed up. So the art of writing it out and then like capturing those good moments, um, it's weird how it does something like physically beneficial for the person, for me. So I would say my favorite part is revisiting the jar. So I talked about how it's okay to miss a day, 3 days, 5 days, a week, a two, maybe sometimes it's even a month. That's definitely been, I can attest to that. I've definitely not gone back to the jar in like a month or even 2 months' time. But if the goal is to be able to revisit all those moments that you've captured in your writing and those moments of gratitude at the end of the year, sometimes that's enough motivation for you to kind of stick with it. So being able to revisit the jar at the end of the year and think about all the things that you're grateful for. Um, it never occurred to me that waiting until the end of the year doesn't have to be the only way to do it. Maybe it's at the top of the month or the end of the month that you want to go back and revisit what you've like reflect on what you felt um, gave you gratitude for that past month. That's fine. Maybe you want to do it every 3 months or every 6 months. Maybe it's on your birthday. Um, those are all different times to revisit the jar. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just throwing out ideas for you. I preferably like to do it at the end of the year as a moment of reflection on New Year's Eve. Um, so if you like that, go for it. What else? Looking at my points here, my points of thoughts here. Um, it's also good to, as I mentioned, sometimes writing on hard days is good, but maybe that's also a time for you to revisit your jar. Maybe you're having such a hard day, it's time to be reminded of the things that you are grateful for that you've written in the past. That's fine too. So I'm just going to reiterate that having a gratitude jar practice is a no cost, low cost approach to reframing your hard times, your moments of sadness, or just when you know you're not feeling your overall self. It does not have to be aesthetically pleasing, and this is something personal for you unless you want to make it a group effort. But for me, it was a very personal experience that I don't intend on sharing with groups, but that's just me. Like, when I say groups, I mean like with your close circle. This is very much a personal exercise for myself. So it does not have to be aesthetically pleasing. It does not have to, you don't have to put money into doing this practice. If anything, that takes away from the experience. However, if you are a creative and you innately need to beautify things, that everything that you touch, then that's a whole different story. Go for it, knock yourself out. But for anyone that is just looking for an opportunity to um, find the simplest practice that they can actually implement in their life, literally starting today, right now, in this moment, it doesn't take much at all. So jump in. So as we're coming to a close, what do you think? Is this something that you would add to your day to day? Do you feel like this is something that you need? Would you try it today? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love to hear if there's anything similar that you actually implement into your day to day life that helps you when you're not in the greatest space. Would love to hear it. Share it with the community. At this point, I only have 8 subscribers, so pretend someone will eventually look at this, at your comment, and don't hesitate to leave one. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.